right, how we doing today, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and don't forget we got Dan in the booth. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody.
Dan will be taking all your questions, concerns, or burns, as Ross likes to say.
We don't get that many burns these days.
We don't.
The burns were more popular with Todd. You're too positive, and then you make the chat positive.
Oh, I'm just
that means I'm not pulling my weight, dragging everything down.
No kidding. So I'm infecting chat, but in a positive way. I guess it could be worse things.
How dare you? How dare you?
This is a pessimist stream only.
Yes. That is true.
Everybody, we are going to be playing a little bit of standard here, but not your traditional standard like we saw at SCG Philadelphia this weekend, which was a Golos just free-for-all party.
We're going to play games that finish in under 40 minutes.
Yeah. It's going to be glorious. We might be able to play like maybe a best 2 out of 3 set per hour.
What a
crazy
time to be alive.
I know, right? We might actually finish some matches of Magic, but we're not just playing decks that are strictly worse. We are playing decks that have shown some promise in the face of Golos, Simic ramp decks focusing on the food synergies like Oko, and decks that just can stand up against them and have games. We do probably, at least I still think Golos is the best deck right now, kind of by a decent margin, but I don't think it's unbeatable like people are kind of calling out for like bans and stuff. I think my brother said it best on Twitter, just try some different cards first, you know? Try some of these fancy new cards that we have. And the decks that we're playing today are featuring a lot of new cards that we do think has pretty good games against Golos. So.
Yeah, obviously it's distressing to see a tournament be so dominated by a single archetype or variants thereof.
Yeah.
But one, it was a team event. Those are always going to be a little bit skewed, and they're going to be skewed towards sort of the metagame that the best players are playing, because they're even more likely to succeed in team events than they are in regular events, because they're often teaming with other good players, so their advantage is cumulative.
Then you got to beat 2 out of 3 good players instead of just beating 1 good player.
Yeah, and it turns out that Golos is very popular among those players. They did well. Golos did not do as well in the Mox playoff.
Yep, the standard Mox playoff. Yep, what I stayed home to play for.
Yeah. So this is an individual standard event, so the results are a little bit easier to track for the standard decks.
Yep.
And there were some decks that stood up to Golos.
Yep.
And it's week 1. Things will change. We've had weeks where Mono Red was 4 of the top 8 in week 1, and eventually people figured out, there are other decks that can hang.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be, going all Chicken Little. To use a sort of fairy tale-esque reference.
Very nice, very nice.
and that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to look at some decks that we think can stand up to Golos. I think your deck is really interesting and really promising. I'm a little bit boring to start out. I'm going to be playing just Mono Red Aggro, but the lists that emerged, I know Erin Barrich, she was streaming with some Mono Red decks and sort of built one. Didn't like the Cavalcade decks. She's been playing Mono Red decks for a long time.
Yep.
And is very good at them, and built a different version. And I think one of the big innovations that, I don't know if she made, but the list that she was playing certainly made, it was Rimrock Knight. This is just generic looking adventure card. 2 mana 3/1, but it adventures as a red, +2/+0 sort of combat trick.
Yeah, just 2 spells or 1.5 spells is good enough,
and
right?
it's also just a knight to help out your fervent champion.
Yeah.
Before it was just strictly a 1/1 first strike haste. Now sometimes you can get that extra point in. Get pumping the 3/1 is really nice.
Yeah. You always just needed 2 fervent knights to be able to use them properly. But
But the adventure mechanic has proven to be really powerful. So even the innocuous looking ones are probably pretty good. So that's what she was going. She did really well with it on Arena when she was streaming it last week. And we saw a few lists that are more like this. And this is Mono Red the way we've typically seen it. None of the weird synergy cards. Just play all the best cards at each spot in the curve and good burn spells.
Point some burn spells upstairs. Yeah.
So this is the formula that has been working for the last X years in Magic's history, and it could still be pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I don't think the format is doomed or anything. And honestly, if we look back at the early parts of the format, when Esper Stacks came out, there was that 3 or 4 day window where everybody's like, we're doomed. This deck is just unbeatable.
We are doomed foretold.
Yeah, exactly. We're doomed foretold. And then Golos comes out and that deck becomes unplayable within 4 days. So standard moves fast. People will adjust. There is still a chance Golos is just insane, you know, and that it's going to be hard to deal with. But I'm not a buyer yet. I'm not a believer yet.
Okay. So what do you got? What's your first stand-up to goals deck?
I'm going to be playing a red-black Aristocrat deck. Those of you who don't remember what Aristocrats was, it's a deck that just basically wants to be sacrificing your creatures to gain some kind of incremental value. And in this case, I am going to be actually playing, what is it, Claim the Unborn? Or
Claim the Firstborn.
Claim the Firstborn. I'm going to be claiming Ross Firstborn, which is a 1-red steal target creature with converted mana cost of 3 or less. Take it on your side. It gains haste, kind of like a mini Act of Treason for 1 mana. It's quite the card.
Yeah.
And when you compare it with Witch's Oven, Priest of the Forgotten God, and Mask of Immolation, you can just make it a 1-mana removal spell with some upside. I really like the look of this deck. It went 7-0 in the Swiss. And when we're talking about this Mox playoff event, this is not a very... It's not a very easy tournament, right? Like, we're thinking this is just an online tournament, but this is where all the pros play. First and second place to get you an invite to this end-of-the-year tournament for $50,000. So a lot of players played this. It brings out a lot of innovation. So seeing results from this is pretty exciting. That Golos, I think, had like 1 or 2 copies in the top 8. And it was like Javier Dominguez and like, you know, another sicko pro.
I agree. A very dense tournament. This deck, looks pretty impressive. I like how much reach it has against Golos, a deck that doesn't really kill you that quickly. And against aggressive decks, I really like the Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven, barrier. You just get to block, sack the food, and if you get that going with Mayhem Devil, you're just spraying, pings all over the place. Mayhem Devil triggers anytime you sacrifice any permanent. So if you sacrifice a food to return the familiar, sure. Every time you sack the familiar to get the food, you get a ping.
Yep.
Every time you sack a food to gain 3 life, you get a ping. Every time you sack something that it starts getting really nutty when your synergies start developing. And because of these Golos decks, we're seeing a lot of the metagame adjust to just try to go over the top. And so we're not seeing a ton of cheap removal.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the ability to set up these synergies, and they should be powerful enough to close the game before these Golos decks, these Simic Ramp decks are able to go over the top of you and set up their really big spells.
And I remember a standard format, ironically, the last SCG Philadelphia, that's what was going on in standard. Everybody was trying to go over the top. There was not many cast downs, Tyrant Score, and stuff like that. And then Jund Dinos had a chance to run it over because there wasn't a lot of this early removal spells. And I think that's kind of what we're in right now. And
Corey, it was only a thing for like 2 months.
I know.
Dinos is gone.
That's the point I'm trying to make. For 2 months when people were forgetting. I know.
It's not coming back.
We just have to stick with cats now? I don't get dinosaurs?
Yes, it's not coming back.
All right.
They're dead. Their meteor hit.
People still play Rotting Regisaur.
Smoke was everywhere. They couldn't breathe. Oh. They all died. Oh. 65 million years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
It's been a while.
I must have missed it in the tabloids.
Yeah, you didn't get that memo.
I didn't get that email that dinosaurs are now extinct.
It's okay.
All right.
We'll always have Jurassic Park.
Okay, perfect.
It was a great weekend.
All right, well, I say we just get into the game, so after you just derailed my beautiful dino thought.
That is my plan.
All right, perfect.
Couple points of order before we start.
Yes.
Those are some pretty sweet chairs that you're in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thanks for not letting me forget. We got some Carnox chairs here, which we are sponsored by that and SCG. If you want to pick up one of these chairs, go to carnox.com/SCG tour and get 10% off and be as comfy as us. Dan, I don't know, your chair doesn't look as great.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh. What is that, a wooden, is that a nail in that? What are they doing to you over there, Dan?
Nails.
Jesus.
Dan is literally just sitting on a tiny stool. He's got his legs up. Yes, a very tiny stool, like a stool for children. That's all they give him.
Well, we need to get Dan a Carnox chair over there. It sounds like.
I was gonna say we always pitch, for Cedric to get us Carnox chairs, and for you to tweet at him. I want you all to tweet at Cedric to get Director Dan, a Carnox chair.
Yeah,
he deserves
I'll set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
Director Dan needs to get out of his nail wooden chair there. So, all right. So I have the marbles from last week. So it looks like you will be going first.
That is true. Always nice from the mono red deck to be on the play.
So you threw your matches on last Thursday to be able to do so, right?
I keep doing it every week, and yet it doesn't seem to work out. But I really just like being on the play.
Go figure.
All right.
My hand looks solid, so definite keep.
My hand's a little slow. It's missing a very clear thing here, but I think it's good enough that we're going to keep. So
okay, I will play a Scorch Spitter.
Okay. All
Pass
right.
turn.
That's a pretty good one. But I think we still want to lead on this so we can make sure and cast our spells next turn. So, your turn.
Okay.
I'm going to sack this while you do your thing, while you start scorch spitting me in the face. Think we needed this.
Will be my plan. I think I'm just going to apply pressure this turn. So let's go Fervent Champion.
Okay.
I will Boulder Rush my Scorch Spitter.
Jesus.
And attack you for 4 and I also get a ping. So 5 total.
All right. 5 damage on turn 2. That seems fair.
15. Rimrock Knight will go on an adventure.
Seems fair. Seems super fair. Oh, that was a good draw. That was a good draw. Okay, so I think we're going to... Now we got options. If we take a look at my hand, it's for sure not this. This is the most vulnerable card if I wanted to play this 2-drop. That would not be great here. So I'm leaning on either these 2 cards, if we're looking at my hand, or these 2. Well, it's for sure going to be this, Drain ya.
I'm at 19, you're at 16.
Yep. And it's probably just this oven. It's either an oven or another creature here. Oven seems quite strong right now, so we're just going to play the oven. Pass to you. Now we got the cat combo going.
Well,
The old cat oven combo.
it's not good. It's not good at all.
Meow. Meow, meow.
Poor Salem.
Yeah. I don't know, what is this, Hansel and Gretel that had the oven, right? Something
Yep.
like that?
Well, it was the witch that had the oven. Hansel and Gretel got put into it.
Oh.
We'll send with both and ping you. Bring
All
you
right.
15.
So I'll take the ping. I go to 15. I think I want to actually try to get this Scorch Spitter off the battlefield. So we're going to sack this to get a food, and then we're going to sack the food to bring it back.
So I go to 18, you go to 16.
May I block?
No.
No. Okay.
If Corey just wanted to trade straight up before getting the food and doing all of that, I would have been okay with that. But if he's going to put himself in this position where he leaves the oven tapped, then I want to get the familiar in the graveyard.
Makes sense.
Now it's going to cost him another creature to get that familiar back.
Oh, it's going to cost a creature, all right.
Yeah. And then I will cast Light Up the Stage.
Okay.
Oh, that is not good.
Oh, that's a lot of mana.
You can go.
Okay. So now we are going to claim your firstborn. I don't know which one.
Is it Javier or the lizard?
Or the lizard. I kind of want to take Javier here. Yeah, we'll take this one.
Javier attacks into Cauldron Familiar where Scorch Spitter doesn't really.
Exactly. Attack for one.
So I'll go to 17.
In the oven.
How could you do that to our world champion?
Okay, and now the question is, what do we want to play here? And I want to just be mana efficient. So now we're going to play our priest, even though it's a little vulnerable, and then we'll pass to you.
It's pretty good. That also checks the Scorch Spitter.
Yep, exactly. And now you can Slaying Fire it, which you might have to. I mean, Priest of Forgotten God is a very tough to deal with threat here.
Yeah, and I want to be casting these cards because I can't later. And unfortunately, I didn't draw land. I would have easily cast the Frenzy because I think that's one of my ways to win this game.
Yeah, yep.
But now I only have one left in the deck, so this is not looking good. But we'll do what we can. We'll kill the priest.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a problem. And I think, once again, I want to try to trade with Cauldron Familiar. Because this is... if I'm not going to attack into this, I'm basically never attacking. And maybe potentially trading for some other creature that you sack to the oven is kind of nice. So we'll attack and ping you.
This time I will oblige and just go to 14.
Okay, I will pass the turn.
All right, end step.
So 16 for me, 15 for you.
15 to 16, yeah. God, this cat is kind of giving you some trouble.
Oven Familiar is quite the combo.
Cat.
That darn kitty cat. Okay, so we're going to attack.
Yeah, I go to 15.
Okay, and now if we look at our hand, we have a big choice here. Okay, so if we're feeling a little frisky, which we kind of are because we have a cat beating down.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go for this, but that is deciding if I have a red source in the top 2 cards to be able to play this, because this card is just great right now, no matter what. So I think it is being a little greedy on my part, and the chances I lose this game are with something like that. So I should probably just play conservative and save that for another turn. Just play Mayhem Devil, and then so. If I sacrifice this and you go to kill this, I still get the trigger. So, yeah, that seems good. Your turn. Mayhem Devil got so much better with this combo being introduced to it. Who would have guessed?
I mean, it was already good.
It was already a very...
It was already good.
It was already a standard card, you know? It was becoming a 4-0.
Okay, well, I'm not going to play any of the 1 toughness creatures in my hand. So let's play the 4/3 that potentially trade with this devil.
Sure.
Though probably not.
All right, sack, kill the Scorch Spitter.
Yep.
Get the food. Bring it back.
Ping me.
Yep.
And then I get drained from familiar. So I go to 13, you go to 16.
16 to 13. No big deal. This is fine. This is all fine.
Yeah, everything's okay.
All right. You sacrifice. Okay, should we do an artifact? No.
Well, it's target player, so you should probably target yourself and say artifact.
We'll get that out of there.
That's my only way to get Witch's Oven off the battlefield.
And boom, coming at you. Coming in at you.
Go to 9.
All right, and then we got a follow-up here of the Bones of the Gutter variety, and then we'll pass it to you. Red-Black Aristocrats.
Yeah.
Aristocats, I should say. This has got to be called Aristocats, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever you want.
Yay.
Oh, Corey, you get a sack trigger from Angrath, too.
Oh, it's a player?
It
What?
doesn't specify.
Whenever a player... Oh, my.
Yes, I'm at 8.
Thank you, chat.
Okay.
Jeez, chat's so smart. And this card is so busted.
I think I am just dead.
Wow. Think if you had a 1/1 in play, you sack... Well, I guess you'd sack the 1/1, but still. Cat scratch fever. Dun dun dun. Gonna be a lot of cat and oven jokes here. Not together, of course. That's terrible. Okay. Well, in response to you playing this, nice try.
I had to wait till Corey looked over there, and then I tried to get them down quickly.
In response to you playing that.
Yeah. All my things are dying, and I'm pretty sure I'm dead this turn.
I think you are. Yeah.
You get to kill 2 things just on end step with that food, and then untap, sack the familiar again, kill the 3rd blocker, attack with these. The entire time you've been pinging me, I'm literally...
And I can like sack Gutter Bones, deal 1 to you, return Gutter Bones, play Gutter. I mean, that's only a 1-time interaction, but that's another thing I can do, you know?
Call the Familiar also triggers Spectacle for Gutter Bones.
Yeah. Wow, this deck looks sweet.
Golden Familiar it's an underrated card.
No kidding. No kidding. I mean, do you think it would be good without Witch's Oven? Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, Mask of whatever. Immolation is pretty good. And then... Priest has always been kind of a very popular card with this. And Priest isn't going to shine in this matchup, but Priest of the Forgotten Gods is one of the cards that is just the absolute game breaker against these like Oko or green-based ramp decks. Just because if you can't check that card and you can get a Midnight Reaper on my end where I'm gaining all this value and you're sacrificing a Goose or, you know, a 3/3 food from Oko or a land or Crisis, whatever it may be, that's pretty big game against those decks. Like, you have to Oko turn that into an Elk, and then it's not even that big of a loss, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, well, I think we are going to head to sideboarding here, get a couple matches going in the post board, see if Ross can do anything to deal with this cats in the oven situation.
Yeah, we will, well, I don't know. I don't know why Corey's cooking cats all the time. That seems weird.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to put a stop to it for the cat's sake.
Stay tuned.
Hello, welcome back to sideboarding between Mono Red Aggro and Rakdos Aristocrats.
Aristocats.
Okay.
Thank you.
Aristocats, I'm sorry. So,
Did it here.
on my side, I have decided to, I think essentially with the way this Mono Red deck is built, you know, there's 2 Torbran and 2 Experimental Frenzy in the main, and then the same numbers of those in the sideboard.
Okay.
Which is a little weird, but...
Makes sense. Some are better.
Yeah, you'd rather draw one of each,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So that does sort of make sense. But after board, I think you just have to pick one direction.
Yeah.
Right? And I think Torbran is best when you think you're going to be able to get aggressive, get a lot of damage in, have all your creatures, you know, get through.
Yeah.
And then Torbran looks really good.
Like Golos. Like Golos.
Yes.
I bet Experimental Frenzy is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to win the long game. So in that kind of matchup, you want to go on the Torbran side. But in this matchup, where Familiar, you're going to stay, with me in the early game. You've got a similar curve. You've got blockers. You've got this Cauldron Familiar synergy going on. I think I actually have to try to go big with card advantage, and so I'm going to go on the Frenzy side. So we're cutting our Torbrins. We're bringing in our Frenzies. Along with that, we've got a Chandra Fire Artisan, which should be quite good.
And I think Lava Coils are going to be really nice.
Lava Coil will be nice. If I can ever tag a Cauldron Familiar, even with Lava Coil, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Exile it. But it also just, deals cleanly with Midnight Reaper.
My cat's already being put in an oven. You're really going to put lava on it now, too? Jeez, Ross.
Well, I want my cat cooked very quickly.
Okay.
So not just a quick sear, and we're good. It's a rare cat.
A rare cat.
I know you prefer your cats cooked on common, but I prefer rare.
Okay.
So we're definitely gonna have Lava Coil to just help deal with these creatures that have when they die abilities. Or creatures that come back, Gutter Bones too.
Mayhem Devil. Great answer to it. With 3 toughness,
Yep. And then Tybalt, this is here to help against those Cauldron Familiar loops, but also just making multiple creatures that throw some damage around. I think should be pretty good. We are going to be cutting Rimrock Knight.
And the gain life clause doesn't do nothing against the cat.
Corey's got a lot of easy blockers for this card and blockers for what we Boulder Rush.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, this is a card that I think is much better, again, in a matchup like Golos, where you can get a free 2 damage in and have a 3/1 body, get extra power out of your Fervent Champions, things like that.
Let you use your mana very efficiently.
Yes. And then, outside of Torbrin and Rimrock Knight, I was initially thinking about cutting Shock. It doesn't have a ton of targets on the deck, but it's nice to just have a really cheap removal spell. We're raising our curve a lot with what we're bringing in, and the cards it does kill, it kills really efficiently, like Priest of Forgotten Gods. Even if you target Midnight Reaper, you do draw a card, but I'm spending 1 mana to your 3, which is quite nice. But I ended up deciding to cut Slaying Fire. I don't think the games I win because I'm on a Frenzy plan are going to be games where I just squeak by dealing just enough damage.
Yeah, you're going to win by miles.
Yeah. I'm already bringing in a 4 damage spell. There's not a lot of big creatures in your deck, so between Secure the Critics and Lava Coil, we should have most of them covered. So we're going to trim down to 1 Slaying Fire here and try to keep our curve low, which does really help out Frenzy as well.
No, I like it. I think you're attacking the matchup in a really smart way here. At first, I didn't think you should take out Torben, but when you started explaining that, I think that makes a lot of sense to go with Frenzy. Yeah. So on my end here, we're going to be bringing out Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. There's only 1 in the main. Not very good when you're on the draw against a red deck. Once again, I'm not trying to push through damage. I'm trying to win kind of with my Aristocrat ways, sack a couple creatures, gain value through that. I'm not really doing too much with this. And then Angrass Rampage, we saw it be really good in the last game dealing with a 4/3 giant, but most of the time you have so many 1/1s laying around that for 2 mana, I'm trading down.
Yeah.
And by what I mean there is I'm playing a 2 mana spell to most of the time deal with your 1 mana spell, and that is usually a bad exchange. Sure, with you bringing in Planeswalkers, I could snatch them, but I'm not necessarily over afraid of them, so we're going to take those out. I'm bringing in 2 Flame Sweeps. Now, this is a card on the play I would not have. I would kind of shift and do a little something different on the play.
Be a little more proactive.
Exactly. Like possibly even bringing in these 2 for these 2. If we go to a game 3, you might see me make that change. And then Claim the Firstborn, I think it's just excellent. It hits basically every creature, and I think with you taking out Torben, it hits every creature in your deck. Yeah. So if I can get any synergies with this, it's a 1 mana removal spell plus some extra value for me. And then Bedeviled to deal with Planeswalkers, as well as I was just a little afraid of Bone Crusher Giant and Torben. You're taking it out, so a little less thing, but unconditional removal I think is pretty good right now as well.
A little more reliable than the Rampage.
Exactly. Rampage is like, I feel lucky if I get a creature that has some value to it. Yeah. So
I mean, getting Bone Crusher Giant with the Rampage is probably best case scenario.
It is. And I mean, I got it because I already set up the rest of my draws. So Rampage seems like not really a turn 2 play. It seems more like a turn 5 play after I've actually dealt with your board, and then it feels like a win more card to me, to be honest.
Yeah, if I had that Bone Crusher Giant, I still wasn't winning.
Exactly, yeah. So, hey, you got any questions for us, Dan the Man?
I sure do.
All right.
Corey, specifically for you.
Yep.
A couple people have been asking about certain aspects of your deck. So from 3D Silac, does 24 lands seem like a little much for this sort of deck?
Not really, because it has so many card draws and so many ways to churn through your deck with Light Up the Stage, Midnight Reaper and stuff, that all you want to be doing is making sure you make land drop 1 through 4, and then your deck will carry you throughout that. So I think 24 land is actually probably perfect. I could maybe see a world where you play 23, but you know, someone once told me like every single deck they pick up, they just add a land to.
That was me.
That was you? Yeah, and I think that's just the thing to do. Like, I lose games when I get mana screwed, and you know,
it's a lot easier when you're flooding. But there's also several good mana sinks in the deck. Gutter Bones being one, Castle Loch Thwain being another.
Yeah, Castle's a big reason for that. Yeah, because there's 3 of them in this deck.
And then you have to realize that this deck's mana is not great. It's a 2-color deck that's playing Chandra Acolyte of Flame and Ayara First of Loch Thwain. So your 3-drops are red, black, black, black.
And the only duels that you're working with are Blood Crypts
and Fabled Passage.
Oh, well, yeah.
Fabled Passage is a duel.
The mana fixing.
Yeah, it's a duel.
Honestly, I mean, Fabled Passage is great with Mayhem Devil, which is why you have to play it.
Yeah.
Another like ridiculous energy that shouldn't happen. But
that does work, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Sack my land, ping your stuff.
Wow.
But you need to increase your land count just to make sure you have the right colors as well. Honestly, I think that deck should probably be playing some number of Bloodfell Caves, just to make sure, because if you're a 2-color deck that has pretty light, color requirements on each side, you can get away with things like Vol Wilds or Fabled Passage.
Yeah.
But when you're playing red, black, black, you need the dual land.
Yeah.
So I could see Bloodfell Caves being like even at 24 lands, but maybe that's why they went up on land count, so they didn't have to play a thing like Bloodfell Caves.
I think that's the reason, but I don't. It felt good to me, and I haven't played a ton with this deck, but I think it's very good, and I'm going to be pursuing it on stream, just playing it a little bit longer because I really think it's got a high ceiling. Yeah. As I say that, I look at my opening hand and it has a very low ceiling.
You do get helped out with black mana by Priest. So if you ever activate Priest, you get the extra double black. That can help cast Ayara for sure.
That's true. All right.
What do I have going on here? Ugh. I can't imagine this hand being a keep. I'm basically just playing Runaway Steamkin and crossing my fingers that you do nothing.
Yeah.
I have 4 lands, Steamkin, double Light Up the Stage. Like, these lights are probably not going to be reliable.
What about this?
Okay, I could probably beat that hand with mine, so let's both keep.
Yeah.
All right, so while you guys are shuffling, Corey from Ave Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Why no Judith?
And like I said, this isn't my deck. This was the list that 7-0'd the Mox and then I believe lost in the top 4. Mayhem Devil just seems like a better Judith to me.
Yeah, both compete on the 3.
Yeah, and you sack a lot of your own creatures, so it's not like you're gaining a critical mass of a bunch of creatures. You're kind of just, nickel and diming them with the value of your cards. You're not like spreading the board and then attacking with a bunch. But I mean, I could see the Ayara seems pretty off to me. I could see like a 1 of Judith instead, because Ayara is just a 1 of, but
sure. Yeah, you could be a 1 of Judith in that spot, but I wouldn't be overly, anxious to get Judiths into this deck. We saw Rakdos Aristocrats decks last summer that didn't really play Judith unless they were like really aggressive. I think that Judith sort of got misevaluated. Everybody focused on it being sort of an Aristocrats payoff when it's in reality, I think it was a better aggro card than it was an Aristocrat kind of card.
Yeah.
The Aristocrats decks, they tend to not stop attacking pretty quickly, and they deal a lot of damage with their synergies. And I think what Judith wanted to do is just have you flood the battlefield with creatures, play Judith, and like slam in with your creatures, and then they take extra damage when they block, and then you finish them off with burn spells.
Yeah, the only thing I think that I could see Judith actually being pretty good is up against Golos when they're trying to cast off, the Realm Cloak Giant have, and just like Rathian, you get that extra points of damage. Like I think that sounds good to me. That sounds better than Ayara in that specific matchup. And me playing a standard deck right now, Golos is going to be the first thing I pick. If I have a bad Golos matchup, I'm not going to play the deck at a competitive tournament because we're seeing what high numbers this is. And Ayara versus Judith, one is specifically better against Golos. So changes wise, I could consider Judith.
Yeah, no, I like it in small numbers still, and that's a good point. Like having a more aggressive game plan is specifically good against Golos.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna keep this one.
Same.
It's not very good, but
Same.
we'll bottom those.
I have a mountain.
Okay.
No one drop.
All right. Oh wait, sorry. Actually, I was mulliganing to 5. Sorry, I'll put that on the bottom as well. Yeah. I mulliganed once while we were shuffling early. Okay, so I go to 21, and you're at 19. Our hand is, didn't get much worse, but.
Pass it in.
Okay. Kitty cat scratch.
Yeah, I'm at 18.
Okay. And then we're going to play a mass of.
Immolation. Mask of Immolation.
It's just your best friend. It's.
You do get an elemental with that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
How did you not know this? Your turn.
Yeah, I guess I self-immolate. That's my thing. So we're definitely stomping something on N7.
Your mask of immolation is your beard.
Yes. My beard is frequently on fire. I think I just want to deal with this, even though it's obviously going to get sent at me for a point, but I'd rather, if I draw a 1-drop, I'd rather, Corey have to pay 2 mana to move this over. So
1 to you.
Stomp that. I go to 17.
Yep, your turn.
This is a good magic card.
It is a good one. That's just in your graveyard, though, bud.
Oh,
the spell fizzles, yeah. So I think you have one correct.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, definitely. Murderous Rider, if you go to Murderous it and they veil it, your Murderous Rider goes to the graveyard.
Really?
Yep. Positive.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then we have to go over here.
Yeah, I figured. Now you're on an adventure.
So I'm still at 18.
Yep. You're still at 18. Okay, yeah.
I just saw when you cast as the adventure, it got exiled.
Yep, nope. If that gets countered, it's...
there needs to be legal targets.
Exactly,
Okay.
yep.
Well, not the best of draws, but I guess we can just play the Bone Crusher. Yeah,
Yep.
that seems better.
That's better.
Okay, play a 4-3.
Okay. Our hand is quite bad, but we'll play this and pass it to you.
Okay. So I will shock the Midnight Reaper.
Okay, draw a card.
Fortunately, no Lava Coil for me. You go to 20?
20, yep. Yeah, Lava Coil would have sucked. I really needed this value.
I will...
We drew a decent one, though. Our hand was pretty much unplayable until that, but this will do something at least.
Attack for 4.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll go to 16.
So we've got, what is this, 18 to 16?
Correct.
Do I want to do this right now and try to set up for a later turn, or do I want to get this down?
Got a toughie?
Yeah, just not exactly clear what I want to do with it. I think I'd rather just get this Tybalt down.
Okay.
Just use my mana nice and efficiently. We'll
Sounds
make a
good.
devil token.
Okay.
And then pass the turn. We got any devils over here?
I don't believe so. Humans will have to work.
Oh no! Did we forget?
Okay, Shaheen is like a devil token, so
Yeah, that's pretty
that'll be
accurate.
fine.
All right, we are going to...
Wow, this is the first time I've seen the bear tokens from Eldraine. These are great.
Are that? Oh.
He's a chunky bear.
That is a nice bear. It's a fine bear. Okay, well... We're just gonna say go.
Hey, seems like some removal afoot.
Afoot?
Let's slam in for 5.
Okay, I'll block here.
I have...
Okay, we're gonna...
Murderous Rider.
Yeah, we're gonna have to Murderous Rider that giant.
So we're gonna take 4 total?
Thing. Yeah. Still gonna take 4, but we were gonna take 4 regardless.
2 from the Rider, 2 from the Giant Trigger.
Yep.
That'll put
So
you to
this is on
12.
Adventure. This dies.
I will deal 1 to... oh, yeah, it doesn't get... It's not a 2-2. Okay,
yeah,
so
it's just a 1/1. Yep.
So I'll just deal 1 to you.
me. Okay, so I go to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a great exchange for me. That's for sure.
Okay. Now we will Spectacle light up the stage.
Okay. Wow. It's pretty good.
I assume I want a Steamkin first.
I would think so.
Yeah. And then we'll Spectacle another one, get a counter on the Steamkin. Nice to get it immediately above 1 toughness.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Some nice hits.
So I have a land in hand, and I can Spectacle this other light. I probably should. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we have land for next turn. Okay, so we have a land drop for next turn.
We'll take that.
But that's fine. We'll make another devil.
Okay.
Because we're playing another Tybalt next turn, most likely. And I'll pass the turn.
All right.
So good battlefield for me here.
Yeah, that was a great turn for you. I'm very terrified of it. We have no play except just these.
Yep, so
Then
we get
I'll
another
pass to
swamp.
you. Yeah, don't feel great about this because even my lifelink, it doesn't exist right now.
So let's play another Tybalt. I'm just going to shortcut.
Sure.
Move this up to 5. This goes up to 3.
Yep.
Definitely going to make another devil.
Okay.
And this was my land for turn, so that got played.
Yep.
And I guess I don't want to use the Steamkin to do that. We'll leave that as a 4/4, but I will skewer the Murderous Rider. I have plenty of things to sack to Priest if Corey somehow generates a bunch of things, but the lifelinker is a problem.
Seems very tough for me
Plus
to deal
the devil
with.
can attack into Priest.
Yeah,
so
it can.
we'll attack you for 5.
Well, I think I have to soak up some damage here, so.
Deal the 1 there.
Yep.
You go to 7
7.
and pass the turn.
It's going to be a tough one to win. That's not bad, I guess. All right, I'll claim this as my firstborn.
So it's going to get sacrificed anyway because of the Mask of Immolation, so let's remove the counters first.
Okay. And then I will... I'll attack Tybalt. Or maybe I attack you. Yeah, I'll attack you.
Okay. Attacking, if you had attacked Tybalt, I think I would have blocked the devil because you could move the mask over and put Tybalt to 1 and effectively stop the devil next turn.
Yep.
But attacking me, I think I'll just take the 1.
Okay.
So I'm at 17.
17. And the only reason I did that, to light up. All right.
Corey.
Yeah.
Murderous Rider should be on the bottom of your library.
Oh, yep, you're right. Trigger when it dies, of course. All right, so light up.
Got a Flame Sweep and a Midnight Reaper.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't have too much choice because I can't really give you... Oh, this has a counter from light up. Not that it matters.
Yeah.
We'll do this and fling it here.
Okay, deal you 1 when this devil dies.
Down to
Into
6. And I'll pass to you.
Okay, now things are interesting because I'm kind of out.
Yeah, it might be.
Well,
Well,
maybe not anymore. Don't think I should play this land in hand.
frenzy time?
Yeah, I always get this wrong. Like I was like every time I do it.
Oh, yeah, there's a 3-drop on top for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play it and leave the land.
Yeah,
in
the
hand.
ultimate card to not be out of gas for. 3-drop?
You can go.
I'm still terrified of that. Okay. Flame sweep, yep.
Deal you 1.
And midnight.
Brings you to 5.
Your turn.
End step. I will stomp.
That's pretty good.
It was a 3-drop, but it was also a 2-drop. You go
I'll
to
go
4.
to 4, yep.
So this is on an adventure.
Adventures with
We did have a
frenzy
land
are
on
pretty
top.
Good, yeah.
I thought about just 2ing you and seeing if I hit a land, but
Sure,
felt like guarantee getting the Reaper would be important.
That seems pretty good, yeah.
Okay, and we had a land 1-drop on top,
Wow.
so maximally punished, but
Definitely.
you know I'll still take it. And unfortunately, that one I can't cast. So you're up.
You don't want to cast
You're right,
it?
I can cast this. Yeah, you're right.
All right, untap. We got no action in the yard, unfortunately.
I need something good.
Oh, we got a cat. Take 1.
Yeah. So you don't gain any life because of Tybalt.
Yeah,
I'll go
exactly.
to 16.
I'll equip it and play it land and say go. Not.
So we'll draw this.
Not going to be an easy one here.
I guess we can play this.
Okay.
And we'll Slang Fire you.
All right.
All you need is 1.
All right, I'm going to head out of here.
Worst case scenario there, I could kill my own frenzy, play to land and lava coiled.
Yeah,
but
yeah, no. I mean, I could have sacked it to that, but yeah, I didn't have a Witch's Oven or
you can
anything.
deal with this, but then the giant kills you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, there we saw the power of just good red creatures, and, you know, just your light up the stages were excellent. So that was pretty terrifying.
Yeah, you never really got your synergies going. You didn't draw an oven.
No.
So you did have one sack outlet, but you never, like, I never let you get multiple things on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I just kept killing your stuff. Light up the stage brought me ahead on cards, and then Frenzy sort of sealed it.
Exactly. And I did mulligan to 5, so I mean, my resources were cut short, but yeah, my deck just didn't do anything. I just drew some lands and... All right, so on the play, we're going to take out Flame Sweeps to be a little bit more proactive, like we were talking about. So we're going to make this exchange here now that we're going to be on the play. Flame Sweep, I think, was a card that if you go 1-drop, 2-drop, you know, and I'm able to, like, Flame Sweep a 2-for-1 or something, it gets me back into the game. But now we're just going to try this. Try our own Planeswalker to force you to play your game a little bit different. Who knows? Might not be great, but... We got any questions over there?
It is good with Priest.
That's true. That's true. Oh, yeah.
So, from Silent Chibi, on the heels of Golos making up 7 of the 8 top decks from the team open,
yeah, that is so crazy.
What do you guys think are the best decks against the archetype moving forward?
Well, that's what we're doing today. That is what we're doing today. We are establishing the good decks that are viable. So I would say, sorry, I forgot the name of who...
Silent Chibi.
Silent Chibi, stay tuned for this whole day because these are the decks that we suggest to play to beat Golos this week. And I know for sure the number 2 deck and the number 3 deck, I hadn't played a lot with this, but now I'm going to be trying it as well. But my second deck and my third deck, Green Black Adventures and Gruul, are 2 decks that I think have great game against Golos. And I know you got some spicy ones to combat it as well. So
yeah, so that's, you know.
That's the show.
We're in the same spot y'all are. We're trying to figure out how to beat Golos too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go first this game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a good draw.
All important game number 3.
Oh, yeah. This hand is really iffy, but it can be so good if we get some help. All right. I think I'm going to try it. It could be bad.
I will keep mine.
Okay.
Just a reasonable mix of stuff.
Your turn. Our hand needs a little help, but...
I will play a Scorch Spitter.
Okay. All right, that's not the worst. Pass to you.
I will attack you, get you for 2 total.
18.
I will play a Light Up the Stage.
Okay.
That is the opposite of what I wanted.
That's not great.
Let's play another Scorch Spitter.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. So our hand is not developing like we'd want it to, so we'll just say go.
Attack you for 4.
I might have to do something here.
Before I attack, or
Yeah, before you attack, I'm going to bedevil one of those. The clock's just getting a little quick.
get in for 2.
All right, 16.
Now I can get a free stomp here. I really want to hit a land drop, so I'm going to make the risky line of lighting up again.
Oh, with no land, I like
There's
it.
the land. There we go.
All right.
That's how we do things here. Let's just stomp you.
Free stomp. Okay, down to 14.
Now the frenzy is gone forever. The mountain I'll have lined up for next turn, and this is on an adventure.
All right, 3 different modes. I like it. Ugh. Our hand is not developing. Now we are going to... I guess we just attack. Maybe we just want to tick this up. Yeah, actually, we're just going to tick this up. The damage doesn't matter that much right now. We'll pass it to you.
Okay.
We kept a risky one, and we just got max punished. Happens.
So I've got my land drop for this turn rolled up.
Okay.
And there's a lot more mana efficient for me to get the giant down this turn, but this is it's a -2 to flashback.
Yep.
So, but if I play the giant this turn, then you're just going to be able to -2 and bedevil it, which doesn't seem great. So I think I should just play for champion,
Okay.
Send champion at you. Send the Scorch Spitter at Chandra. So
Okay.
Chandra goes to 3. You take 1.
I'm
and then
at
I will
13.
Spectacle a Skewer.
At this, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then pass the turn.
So Chandra wasn't great. Just ate up some damage, and it would have been a flame sweep, which would have been awesome. All right. Well, that wasn't bad, I suppose. We're gonna go with a oven.
Familiar?
I'm gonna claim your firstborn. I'll attack.
So I'm going to go to 18.
Yep.
And then you'll make a food.
Sacrifice it. Make a food. This is kind of something that we needed a little bit sooner. Sorry.
Food's
Okay.
rare.
And then I think I have a land as well. All right. Then it's your turn.
Okay. Well, let's get in for 1.
Okay. Take it down to 12.
And then I've got Bone Crusher Giant and Scorch Spitter.
Okay.
You're up.
So we're going to untap. Now we're drawing nothing but horrible cards. Second Witch's Oven. Ooh. Something you never really want, but we do have another claim.
So you take 2 from the Bone Crusher.
All right, so I go to 10, attack you for 4.
I will go to 14.
Throw it in the oven.
And it's toughness, not power, right?
What's up?
For the second food.
Oh, I forgot it had a... Yeah, toughness.
Toughness. So
you get
4-3
2
is
foods,
convenient.
Yep.
So only 1 food.
Okay, and your turn.
Okay.
We might have to start just eating some food here.
Yeah, but you might if you can draw a Mayhem Devil, then you can sack the food.
That's true. That's why I'm trying to hold off on it as long as we can.
This is going to be a 3-point attack, and we'll activate Castle and turn it into a 5-point attack.
5. Okay, down to 5.
That'll bring you to 5. So you're at a virtual 11, and then I'll pass the turn.
All right, so Mayhem Devil would be sweet. Oh, pretty close, pretty close. Swamp. Your turn.
So you're at a virtual 11. That's 1 short then. Okay, then no need to go for it just yet. Yeah, let's do the same thing. Mush you.
Okay.
Make you take 5.
I will take, or gain 3.
Yeah, so you end up at 3.
Yep.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Ooh, that's not what the doctor ordered. Midnight Reaper.
Yep.
Your turn.
And a turn shock you.
I will sack a food.
So you go up
gain
to
1.
6 and then down
Up to 4, yep.
Down to 4. Oh, Lava Coil, the Midnight Reaper. Actually, maybe that's not the right thing. You're at 3 right now?
4.
4. Because you've got the Witch's Oven. So how do I best do this?
I have a feeling I'm dead.
Attack.
Okay, I'll take
Turn
1.
You go to 3.
Yep, a block. A block here.
Take 1.
Yep,
You go to 2.
yep.
Skewer you.
I will sacrifice.
In response, stomp you.
Okay. All the burn. All the burn. Yeah, my deck. I kept a loose one. I kept this and 3 lands. And I mean, it obviously needs something, but I mean, if I get Witch's Oven earlier, it would have been better. But I think maybe just Chandra just shouldn't be in the deck against red. It seemed really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not playing anything like Shock, right? You don't have a good target for the -2.
No, not really.
It's a big problem.
Yep.
Obviously, you had 2 targets for it in your hand.
Yeah.
Which would have been nice if you draw Witch's Oven, then you just start claiming everything every turn.
Exactly. Well, I personally want to see what this deck can do a little bit more. What do you say of trying, since these games are so fast, what do you say about trying to push a best of 5? Or if you win the next game, then just call it?
We're pushing time here. We're only 8 minutes to 2.
That's fine too. Because we do have a lot of exciting decks to get to here. So
yeah, I do think this Rakdos deck is exciting, and it has a lot of good synergies. Your draws didn't really come together in the games that we played,
but it also has some awkward draws, right? Like it's playing a 1-mana artifact that does nothing essentially if you don't have other cards, so it's going to have some awkward senses.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I like Light Up the Stage in the deck is because just that velocity helps you find all the different pieces, and you have so many incidental ways to just deal them damage. Cauldron Familiar, Iara, Mayhem Devil, so a lot of ways to enable Spectacle even if your creatures can't attack.
Yeah, just didn't come through. But I mean, Mono Red just did what it does. You know, it's pretty consistently just doing good things. It's not as insane as, you know, it has been in the past before, in my opinion.
It doesn't have anything on the level of Hazoret or Chandra Torch or
Earth Shaker Kenra. And, you know, I mean, like, that's when Mono Red was just disgusting, you know. So I don't think it's on that broken level, but Mono Red is a deck that people are starting to lean into to deal with Golos because it has a good matchup. You know, I mean, I've played the Golos side against Mono Red. It's sometimes just laughable. And I mean, sometimes Golos can still get there with a big Hydroid Crisis, and it's not an auto-win matchup or anything, but sometimes it's bad. If Red has a good draw, you just cannot win. You know?
Or if you like stumble at all, have like too many ETB tapped lands, don't have that early acceleration, the games that you lose, you just do nothing and die. You just sit there and your opponent just punches you in the face over and over again. And,
exactly.
You know, so, you know, and I think that's the way you have to handle it. You know, the Golos deck sort of beat up on all the mid-range decks people were initially brewing, and then I guess the first thing that beat up on those decks was Doom Foretold and Dance of the Mans, and then the Golos deck beat up on the Doom Foretold deck. And it was that mid-range arms race. Every day kept going bigger and bigger. They're like, I need the most powerful thing. You know, this is the most powerful thing. Now I'll trump you with this. And once they go too far, that's when you can start getting underneath them.
Exactly. And so, that's what we're seeing. You know, I mean, and this might be a perfect time for these red aggressive decks to go underneath Golos. But there's also like the decks we're going to see in our next thing. We're not trying to go faster. We're trying to maybe outvalue, at least from my side, I'm trying to outvalue and go over a top in a sense where like Rankle and Questing Beast is just very hard for zombies to block. So it doesn't care that, you know, you are making a bunch of zombies. These zombies aren't coming into play much, you know, like they shut down your small ground creatures, but by this point you've leveled up and you've went to Questing Beast or Rankle or something like that. So
no, that's important. You're still being aggressive. Like, you're not trying to play a 30-turn game. Golos is going to win those games, but it's not like you have to kill them on turn 5. Either. You can kill them on turn 7, turn 8, and be a little bit more resilient and not be dependent on having them stumble or coming out really quickly. So, you know, there's plenty of ways to attack this Golos.
Agreed. And Golos does have that ultimate inevitability. Like, that's just that's why the deck is so good. You just get to play Krasis, you get to play, you know, Golos, which gets to activate and stuff. Like, you never run out of gas, essentially. So that's what's hard to beat because you can't play a deck that just outgrinds them, you know?
So we are going to take a short break here. How long do we need, Dan?
We can go with like 5 minutes.
5 minutes sounds good.
Yeah.
5 minute break.
I want to say one thing before we go, because I think this makes this ties everything together.
Okay.
From Zoe Zoll, Ross looks like he's a red tracksuit away from telling Corey he can splash the pot whenever he pleases.
Oh, nice.
I don't understand the reference.
A Rounders reference?
Oh, I've never seen Rounders.
What?
Oh.
What? You are a gamer and you've never seen the best grinder gamer movie of all time? Oh.
It's one of those movies that always elicits that reaction when I tell people I haven't seen it.
Wow. Great reference, though. Yes.
Yeah. Good job,
Sorry?
It's like we won't be
It's a compliment. He is the best poker player, like, at the beginning of the movie. So, you know, it's a compliment to you. Yeah.
I am not very good at poker.
Yeah.
So we're going to take that 5 minute break. We're going to come back and set up the second match between Golgari Adventures and Jeskai Fires. So don't go anywhere.
The real thing is, are you good at eating Oreo cookies one half at a time? All right, he's got it then. See you soon.